I want to share with you this secret way that I have been using to schedule all of my social media posts. And when I say secret, I really mean it because no one in the world has used this before. And I'll stake a claim to that, say that this is the first time I'm revealing it. No one has ever used this before. No one's ever seen it before. This is truly a secret that I'm exposing for the first time. And if you're not using social media, if you have a WordPress website with lots of blog posts and you want to get traffic to those blog posts and you're not sharing on social media, you should be. Google, it's a lot harder to rank now. You should be taking advantage of other avenues of traffic wherever your audience is. Don't just post to all the different platforms. Find out where your audience is, post to those, okay? But a lot of times posting to social media is a manual process. It's a time-consuming process. I prefer to schedule things out a couple of years in advance, do a lot of bulk scheduling. But for most people, that doesn't work. The reason is they're scheduling posts at the wrong times of the year. So as an example, I have this site here. It's for home decor. So I'll have spring stuff, like blog posts about spring, about summer, fall, all the different holidays, 4th of July, Christmas, New Year's, Easter. I want to bulk schedule all this stuff. But the problem is, how do I build my schedule? Like, I don't want to manually build my schedule. I have 729 blog posts, 729. And each blog post will have 5 different images in it. Each of these images can be its own social media post. So at the end of the day, I have like 5,000 potential social media posts. There's no way in the world I'm going to spend a whole month creating a schedule for when things should be shared on social media. I have better things to do with my time, but I still want that schedule to happen. The other problem I have is I have stuff that isn't published yet. So you can schedule stuff on WordPress. So on WordPress, this blog post right here actually is already complete. It's already done, but it won't be published until 2026 in October. So like we can open the blog post up and look at it. So I schedule stuff years in advance and I just drip out a couple posts a week. But there's lots of great social media posts that I can make with this. But I also have to take that into account. I can't make a social media post for this blog post until this blog post actually publishes. So how do I factor that into the picture too? Plus, each of these images will link back to this particular blog post, but a lot of these social media platforms don't want you repeating the same URL multiple times. So even though I'm sharing different images on Pinterest, for instance, I can't space them too close together because they're both posting to the same URL. So there's all kinds of different factors we got going on here. We have when a post based on its subject matter should be scheduled, whether the WordPress post itself is actually posted, and then how far apart are we spacing these same URLs? And then finally, how many posts a day do we want to make? Do we want to do 30 posts a day? Do we want to do 3 posts a day? All of these factors make creating a schedule for social media incredibly difficult unless you use my secret method. So let me show you my schedule first of all. So this is the schedule I have for Pinterest for this one site. And I've scheduled 2 years in advance. So it started a couple days ago. This is today, September 27th. These are dropping today on Pinterest. These are dropping tomorrow, and then the next day. All of this is properly scheduled, number one, for the time of the year. So Halloween's coming up. So we have the Halloween stuff dropping right now. We have the fall stuff dropping right now. We have the Thanksgiving stuff dropping right now because we're going into Thanksgiving also. And then it's going to transition as we go through November. It's going to transition into Christmas. We have the Christmas stuff, or the winter stuff dropping around Christmas. As we keep scrolling through, it's going to transition into spring. Well, I guess it goes to New Year's. First of all, we got a New Year's, and then we start going into spring eventually. There's our Easter stuff right there. Then we'll start going into summer. So this entire schedule was built automatically. Not only that, but the actual text for each of these posts and the title for each of these posts were generated with AI. So this is the image from my site. This is the URL to the particular post. This is AI text right here, and this is an AI title. All done automatically. And now I'm done. I'm done for 2 years. I'm totally done. I don't have to lift another finger for 2 years. I can go and do other things. I can make 10 more websites if I want to. Now I made my schedule and I imported it into this program called Publer. All right, so Publer did not make my schedule. It just used the schedule that I gave it. So I'm going to show you how to actually make that schedule, because that's the hard part. There's lots of tools like Publer. I use Publer, but there's lots of tools that will take your schedule and then turn them into actual post, but making that schedule is the hard part. So I use Publer to load my schedule in. Let me share with you how I make the schedule itself. So this is ZimmWriter. It's AI software I created. It's in the description down below. It makes blog posts. It does AI images. It uploads to WordPress, everything in between. What we're going to be focusing on is in this AI vault called the social media scheduler. Now there's a lot of stuff going on in here. You'll want to click this and read the directions. Definitely read the directions. Watch this video again to get another feel for it. I'm not going to walk through every last feature in here, but I just want to give you a gist of how it works. So you'll select the WordPress site that you've saved. So I have my designer affair site, and you'll select the user. Then you'll have some category IDs that you want to include, or you can leave it blank and it will include all the categories on your website, or some categories to exclude. So I don't want, for instance, category 40 included. Category 40 is the ID, let me show you, of my product roundup or my product review. So over here, post categories. I have lots of stuff in the product reviews that's ID 40. I don't want that included. And you can see the IDs using a handy plugin. It's free. It's called Reveal IDs. Let me show you that. So you just install this and it will show you the IDs of all your posts and of all your categories and stuff. I don't want my product reviews being in the schedule and being shared on social because there's a lot of Amazon images in there and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to exclude category 40, but we'll take all the other categories. That works. Then we got to select when we want the start range and the stop range of the post to include in our schedule. And these posts don't have to be published yet. ZimmWriter will take all of that into account as it's creating your schedule. So if you just want to include all the posts on your site, you can say, let's just go all the way back to 2009 and let's stop at 2029. And what this means is any posts that are on your site from 2009 to 2029 will be considered when ZimmWriter is making the schedule. If you don't want that, if you just want to say, hey, you know what, I just want posts from the last couple days, yeah, you can do that too. This is just posts made like in the last week or something like that. That's perfectly fine. When do you want the schedule to start? So we're going to have our schedule start on the 30th, for instance. You can schedule it a couple of years in advance if you want to. Days before repeating a URL. So Pinterest, rule of thumb, 7 days between repeating the same URL. Now I'm going to be using subheading images. So we will get repetitions with the URL. So this will be a social post. This image right here. This will be a social post. This will be a social post. This will be a social post. This will be, you get the point, right? All right. That's important. All right. When we're dealing with these subheading images, otherwise it's not really relevant. Post per day. Rule of thumb, when you're just starting out on Pinterest, 3 posts a day. That's just a rule of thumb. You go too high, your account can get banned. I also recommend having a different Pinterest email for each of your Pinterest accounts. Other platforms can be different. Maybe on Twitter, you want to do 20 posts a day. I don't know. You figure it out. Let's see. So 3 posts a day. You can do custom prompts. So I talked about how the AI, how ZimmWriter would come up with the title and also the text here, but maybe you want it a little bit differently than the stock version of kind of what you get. You can create custom templates to do that. You create that in the bulk writer. There's a whole guide on that that's beyond the scope of this video, but you can load custom prompts to dial in the title and dial in the description exactly how you want them. You can output all this stuff to non-English. You want to post to Spanish or something like that? Yeah, you can post in Spanish if you want to. And then we'll give this a job name. So this would be the job name for a CSV file that ZimmWriter is going to create. I'm going to do that right now. We'll give this a name. We'll call designer affair DA. We'll just call it DA. And you can choose the AI model for writing. We'll use like GPT-4o, and we'll click create the schedule. Now you're going to get 2 files out. The first file will be your job name. Now the second file will be the job name plus an underscore complete. So it's just created our first CSV file with our job name. And now we'll press continue and it will make our complete one. Now this complete one's not done. It's in process right now, so don't open it up. But this is what you'll get. I'll open up this is the larger one that I made. I'll open up this larger one I made previously for my actual schedule, just to show you what you get. So first you'll get your post ID, your post publish date, and then this month is the AI range if you enabled that option. So like these things are recommended for posting in the fall. So here's the recommended range. These things can be posted any time of the year. So that's why this says false right here. Let's scroll down. Let's see. Oh, here we have an Easter. Elevate your Easter egg hunt with these 10 creative decor ideas. So these are best posted during the spring, March and April. So that's the first CSV that it makes. It pulls all the data from your WordPress site and uses that to then make this actual schedule itself. Now this is like the final schedule. So we have our post ID, the post publish date, the post category. And this can be useful if you're like, you want to do a filter and you only want to schedule certain categories or something like that. The social schedule date. So this is the actual schedule that you would apply then in your publishing platform. I'm using Publer, but maybe you're using a different platform. This is the actual schedule. This would be the post title for the blog post URL. This is the image URL. And this is the social media title that ZimmWriter recommends and the social media text that ZimmWriter recommends. So you can't, like, let's go to Publer, for instance, and we can go to the bulk options and import CSV. Now we can't just take this complete CSV and upload it because it's not in the proper format. This CSV can be used with any bulk scheduling program, whether it's Publer or whether, what are the other ones? I don't know. Buffer is that one. I know Pinterest has its own bulk scheduling program. So this is a universal CSV, so to speak. So here's what we got to do. We got to find out what format CSV the platform wants. So for Publer, for instance, when you're in this create and this bulk options and import, there's a template that you can view. And this is what their template, what Publer wants. So first we got to make a copy of this because we can't just edit this. This is like in Publer's thing. So we'll go make a copy. There we go. And then we'll go over here and we will copy our social schedule dates. Now, one thing to note about this CSV here is for Pinterest, for specifically Pinterest, which has boards, you can't designate your board at the moment. I think that's on the roadmap for Publer. You can't designate your board where this is going to go in the CSV. All you can do is you can go back. Let's get out of this. And inside of our Pinterest, we'll see this default board. So we have these default boards in here that I created on Pinterest. So you make them on Pinterest, you'll do like sync info and they'll populate in here. So what you'll want to do, or if you care about publishing to different boards, is you'll do your imports in chunks. So you'll say, I'm going to first, maybe this category represents a board. Like category 38 might be fall stuff, my fall board. So I'll come over here to Publer and I'll select my fall home decor. And I'll go to bulk options, import, and then I'll just import the fall stuff. So if we just want to import the fall stuff, we come over here and we go data, filter, and assuming 38 represents fall. So we would just filter by that. So we have our fall stuff. So we come in here and we copy the fall stuff that we want. We'll come over here to our template and we'll paste in our social media dates. So those are our dates. Then we need our message. The message is going to be the social text. Go back to our CSV, go over here, and we'll get our social text for this, and I'll paste in our message. We need our link. This is the link to the actual blog post. So we'll go back over here, and I think we're doing 8, right? And I'll paste in my link, and then we need our image URLs. So I am doing subheading images. That's why a lot of these are to the same. So here's our image URLs, and we'll go over here and we'll paste this in. And then we need our title. This is a social media title. So we'll go back over here and choose our 8. And then you don't need a label, although if you want to, you can make your label fall. You can make it the board if you want to. When you're all done, you have this thing completely done, just for that one particular board. Again, if you're just doing Pinterest, if you're doing like Facebook or you're doing Twitter, none of this, that doesn't matter. You don't have to pick a board for those things. We'll go to File, Download, Save as a CSV. And there's our CSV. So we come back over to Publer, we select the CSV that we just made, and it will import it. We'll say, give us a few seconds to do the import. And this little thing will, there we go. This little thing will pop up here and we'll click finish. And so here's our schedule. So we click on this. And so here's the AI text that we pasted in. Here's our title. Here's the image. How do I move this? Here's the next one. So this is scheduled for the 26th. This is the 27th. So it's all scheduled appropriately, maintaining the time frame between sharing the same URL, and then also how many posts per day, and then pulling the right amount of posts, and then using the AI recommended schedule. Very powerful stuff. Hey, if you want to replicate this process, if you want to start bulk scheduling to social media, get ZimmWriter down below, go into the social media scheduler, set it up like I did, read the directions, and it will do some amazing things for you. Any questions, drop a comment down below, like the post, subscribe, all that great stuff. There's links to ZimmWriter down below. There's also a link to my 8-hour completely free, no strings attached course on creating a WordPress website from scratch. It's all down below in the description. And join my Facebook group. My Facebook group has 13,000 members in it. It's also completely free. I hope this video provided you lots of value. So all I can say is good luck with your content generation. Good luck with your social scheduling, and I'll talk to you later.